Christmas is pretty close and I'm going to start on a bit of a down note. I've got a bit of a confession. My wife doesn't eat meat. And of course during Christmas we all eat turkeys. We're concentrating on basting hams and things like that. And normally I bung like a tofu roast in the oven and that keeps Georgia really happy. But I came across a recipe. I'm going to do a version of that recipe that is special and it's going to make your vegetarian loved ones or yourself if you're vegetarian feel very loved. To get started, you'll need a butternut squash or pumpkin, 1 zucchini and 1 eggplant. And when you choose those 3 vegetables, try and choose keeping in mind that you need one to fit inside the other. So keep length and width in mind. First thing we'll do is slice each of those in half and hollow all those halves out. Nice. With the pumpkin, the eggplant or aubergine and the zucchini hollowed out, you're going to end up with all these beautiful offcuts, obviously minus the seeds and stuff like that. And we can use this to make a stuffing. Included in the stuffing, we'll start to take on some of those Christmas flavors like cranberries, nuts, and so on and so forth. So I like to make this in a food processor, so we'll do that. I'm going to take a shallot and put that straight in. We've got a couple of cloves of garlic. And the other half of the shallot, give this a little pulse. Once you've pulsed the garlic and the shallot just a little bit, we can start to actually put in some mushroom. You guys can use any kind of mushroom you like. So just to give the processor a little bit of a head start, I'm going to just kind of roughly chop them. Pulse it a few times, and then we can go in with some of these offcuts. You might need to use all of them. Keep in mind that we're going to kind of layer that beautiful stuffing around the eggplant, the pumpkin, the zucchini. So I reckon that might do it. And then just pulse. Okay, into here I'm going to take some rosemary. Let's take 2, 3, 4 sprigs. It's Christmas. And just kind of strip them straight in. And probably 4 sprigs of sage. And we'll just pulse that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's grab a little spoon, take it down from the sides. And you've got to keep in mind as well that this is going to take about 2.5 hours to cook. So all this stuffing is really going to become super, super soft in there, which is why I'm going to add a secret ingredient in a minute, not just yet. Add into here about a handful of walnuts, good handful of pistachio nuts, and some dried cranberries. You could also change that out for figs or apricots. Pinch of salt and pulse. Okay. Now take your mixing bowl and we'll pop that stuffing back into the mixing bowl. In my right hand I've got some couscous. And this is being cooked, cook it as per the manufacturer's instructions. I'm just going to take a little bit of this couscous, not too much at all, just as kind of a little bit of a binding agent really. Just a couple of spoonfuls of that into there. A couple is now 3. Almost 4, and pop that to the side, and then just start to give this a good mix together. Once you've mixed all that together, oh my, that's almost a dish in itself. It tastes really beautiful. Once you've done that, season with salt and pepper to your liking, and we're ready to assemble this. Pop some of this stuffing in between each layer, and then you can use your fingers to push that up against the sides of the pumpkin. And you don't need the layer of that to be too thick at all. But you do want it to come all the way up the side, so when you cut through there, you get that almost roulade look where you got different layers of stuffing to pumpkin to cooked eggplants and so on. If you get a little bit of stuff spilling over everywhere, you can always call it rustic. We make a living out of doing that. Okay, once you've pretty much got a nice semi-even layer going around the pumpkin, we can take this beautifully hollowed out eggplant and carefully nestle that in the middle. And if you've got a little bit of a gap just here, take some more stuffing and just pop it in. Okay, let's try and kind of squash it in as much as you can. All right, let's have a look. In you go. That eggplant will lose its volume as it cooks, so it will shrink a little bit as well, as will the pumpkin actually. So, now the final layer. I like this kind of cooking, it's nice and touchy-feely. Make it up as you go a little bit. Continue to pack it with more of this stuffing in there. You could roast this as it is now, nicely together like that on a baking tray, on baking paper, and you'd have a beautiful dish. But to replicate the turkey, make you guys feel special, we're gonna push these guys together and pop them up and take some kitchen string and truss that together. Once you've got that nice and secure with the string, making sure it's tight enough to hold it in place and hold that shape, we wrap this in foil quite tightly, pop it on a baking tray and roast it in a preheated oven on 180 degrees Celsius for about 2 hours or until you can pierce that with a sharp knife. This has been in the oven, wrapped in foil, cooking for 2 hours at the 90-minute mark. I had a little bit of a look and I had a little bit of a touch, and it was really soft to touch through the foil. I didn't burn my fingers too badly, but have a feel with kind of lined with a tea towel, whatever you need to do. If it's soft, it's ready to go pretty much. You want it to get nice and brown though to associate with that beautiful roast goodness. So I took the foil off, roasted it for a further 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so we get this beautiful brown color, and we're ready to rock now. This is done. So, moment of truth. Take a nice sharp knife, slice through. Make sure you get all the way to the bottom. Quite proud to reveal to you guys what we have in here. Look at that. Beautiful. And your vegetarian friends are going to give you so much love for taking the effort to make such a wonderful Christmas dish. I'm coming at you right through December with awesome Christmas recipes for meat eaters and vegetarians alike. I'll catch you guys next week.